Good morning.
We're excited to see you, that's for sure.
Same here.
Michael
I feel the same way.
Buble. We ready to roll? Where are you?
I'm in my basement. Yeah, it's the only place you won't hear the kids screaming in a few minutes when they wake up for school.
So do you have another one on the way, or what's going on?
Yeah, my
right?
wife does. My wife is pregnant. We're expecting the fourth.
Wow, that's a lot.
How many do you plan on having?
What?
How many do you plan on?
Well, I love that you respect me enough to think I have a choice in the matter. I love that because
How many are
I
being
don't.
planned for you?
Hey, you know what? I'm so happy. Honestly, man, it goes so fast. It really does that it goes so fast. I love that I'm blessed with having these beautiful kids. They keep me young. They keep
How
me
has
young.
it changed you? How has it changed you professionally? Because you had a way of, doing your job before the kids and then afterwards. Has it changed you in a big way?
I don't know that it changed me. I think it made it sweeter for sure. One of my favorite things about traveling, honestly, is that you find out how beautiful people are all over the world. And I mean it. You go, and I go to 50 countries a year, and I'm always so moved by how empathetic and wonderful and kind and funny and sweet that different people are in whatever culture they're in, whatever book they're reading, whatever God they believe in. And I just think it's the coolest thing in the world that I get to go. And and by the way, and that my children get to see that, because I think it enriches their life, that they get to see that it's a big, beautiful world out there.
Maryann, I told you he was a nice guy.
I told you he was a nice guy, and I said he's cute too, and I was right?
By the way, she got a new sweater for this interview. She got a brand new sweater.
Oh yes, can you see my sweater? Yes, all for your.
I
said I need new clothes for Michael Buble.
You guys, I'm going to tell you, I even wore pants this morning. And in these Zoom calls, I usually just refuse, but no.
So Michael, if you had to pick someone whose music you like, not only their music, but their personality, who influenced you, who would you say that was?
Well, I mean, it's old, but Dean Martin for sure was a big influence for me. I was was always a fan of Frank, obviously, but not as much as I liked Elvis and not as much as I liked Dean. And it was because of their personalities. It was because of getting to know people that knew them. And the stories I would hear were always of kindness and being the very, very empathetic cats who were good to the people around them. And I always thought that was very cool and very classy.
Now, you've done a lot of duets throughout your career. Matter of fact, Willie Nelson, you have a duet on this album. Yeah. But also Paul McCartney. Tell us the story. It's not a duet with Paul, but he produced My Valentine. Yeah. And how did that come about? That you sent him some sort of demo or something? Is that what happened?
No, Paul wrote me before I even started the record and said, I hear you're making the record, and I think you do a great job on this song. And we've met before and hung a little before. And I thought it was amazing. I mean, you guys can imagine how cool for me that someone I respect that much trusted me with their art and their legacy. And it was just way too much fun, and keep in touch. And I'm a big fan. And I heard his shows, by the way, are doing great. And he knows I'm going. It's funny, it's been a weird couple years for all of us. And and I think all of us, I know Paul and I spoke about it. We really missed being out there. We missed our people. That's a big part of our lives. We're blessed that it's a big part of our lives. Talk about, I'm showing up at Madison Square Garden. For other people, they hear Madison Square Garden and they, it's a big building and this iconic place. But for me, it's home. For me, it's a place that the last 20 years I've been lucky enough to show up 3 or 4 times every year. And I know it sounds crazy. It's not Billy Joel, but it's like a kind of a residency where you show up and you play and you get to know the people. And I know the staff. I know the people in catering and the security. And and there's nothing like going there and showing up and feeling like it's not this this scary, overbearing sort of situation. It's your people. It's your people.
August 18th, you'll be at Madison Square Garden. You'll be in Philly on August 30th. Tickets on sale now. What keeps you humble? Because you're doing these big arenas, you're performing with all these superstars, and you are a superstar. But there had to be a point in your career where it was like, I can't believe that just happened to me.
It's always, it's never going to change for me. And it's never, by the way, and I feel that I don't want to speak for you, but I can imagine it's the same for you. We're never set in this business, guys, and you know it.
Right.
And people can look at you and, you've made it to the pinnacle of, of your profession, and you're in a position a million of people would love to be in. And that's why you got to work harder than other people, because they'll take your job and, people will move on. And I think while it's important to be grateful, you never stop working your butt off, because, and you don't lose that sense of humility, because if you're smart, this doesn't just stay. You didn't just, it's not a crown that you earned and you just keep, fame is fleeting, but obscurity is forever. And I think you guys know that there's a million people waiting in the wings to do exactly what you're doing, and they might even do it better. And so you never lose the humility, especially if it took you a long time to get there.
Right.
I think you realize, I'm only as good as the last word that came out of my mouth. And I never stop working.
Speaking about words coming out of your mouth, when I saw that video, Higher, I saw you dancing and you look like this fancy dancer, and then you're doing all these moves, and then you're still singing flawlessly as if you weren't even moving. And I'm like, how does this guy control his breath and control the notes? Like, if I'm doing an exercise class or any type of exercise and I'm talking, I'm like, it sounds like I'm panting. How do you control your breath?
By the way, she was panting like that when she was watching your video.
I think for that video, it was I think it was a lot of just me lip syncing, to be honest with you. Okay. I died during that video. I just talked to Derek Huff yesterday, and he's such a sweetie pie, him and his girlfriend, and I had so much fun doing that video. It was taxing though. It's tough to move like that for all those folks, and I understand why they, of course on stage I just pant. I just played my first shows and sang that song, and I think I was panting more when I was doing the music video for I'll Never Not Love You, for the recent single, because my wife was in it, and she looked pretty hot in a lot of the things. So
you do have a pretty wife. You definitely have a pretty wife.
Yeah. Thank God she was already pregnant.
Listen, you gotta run. But I do, since you brought up your wife, did she speak English when you guys met, or did you have
no, señor, no una palabra de inglés. No,
but you spoke her language.
And I did not speak one. I did not speak one. No. So her sister used to come on many of our dates. Oh, I had a friend who was my security guy who was from Venezuela. So he would, but mostly we would be alone, and we would have the computer, and you'd press F1 and it would translate what we'd say back and forth.
Wow.
Wow.
And now my wife speaks perfect English, and I still speak like a Spanish caveman.
All right, we got to let you run, but August 18th, Madison Square Garden, and in Philly, Wells Fargo Center on August 30th. Michael, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you for wearing the black shirt, and thank you for wearing your beautiful white sweater. You look gorgeous.
Thank you, Michael.
Take care, guys. God bless.
Take care.